Hey everyone, how are you doing this morning? I'm getting this out a little early and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Facebook Lives. How many of you have done them? How many of you are thinking about doing them? What I want to do this morning, really quick before I head over to my torture workout at the gym, I want to give you 5 simple tips on what to do during your Facebook Live. So it's a little checklist that can help make your Facebook Live more successful. Okay, so, hey, I know it's earlier than I'm usually on here, and I'm still working on being consistent when I actually do my Facebook Lives, but here I am, and I want to talk to you about this. So, thanks for being here. If you get value from this, if you know anybody else in, business, a home business, or is looking to do more Facebook Lives, please share, because I'm just going to give some really easy tips on what to do when you start your videos. And I know it's really scary for a lot of people, but this is something that Facebook loves. They love Facebook Live, and as I talked about in a previous video, it really can break the algorithm and put you in the top of the news feed. So here we go. This is one of the things. My name's Heidi Singerhouse, and I just love to share things that I've learned in my home business and sharing them all with you so you can all learn through my mistakes and through what I'm learning as well. So, all right, again, thanks for being here. First of all, so for your Facebook Live, it is okay to have notes, all right? So before we even start, think about what you're gonna say, right? And I have a little note right here. So I have little bullets to kind of keep me on track. So when I see people joining or people comment, then I'm not like, oh my God. Okay, what do I do now? Okay, stay on track. That's good to have that little note in front of you, okay? Even if you don't need it, at least it's there and you can always refer down to it. So that's okay. So here are the 5 steps. Number 1, do not wait for people to jump on live. So if you're like me, you're not going to have a lot of people come on live with you, okay? A lot of people are going to look at the recording later on. So you want to start talking about whatever it is you're going to talk about right away. Don't sit there and I'm just going to wait here for a little while for people to hop on. No, you're going to lose everybody. You're going to lose people that have been looking at the recording later on, and they're going to leave because you're not talking about anything. Okay, so that's number 1. Start talking with purpose and introduce what you're going to talk about as your very first thing. All right, so that's number 1. Start right away with your live. Start with your purpose. Say what you're going to talk about. All right. Number 2, introduce yourself and why you're here. So I did that a little bit earlier. Say who you are, even if you think everybody that's watching, they're like, duh, I know who you are. I'm on your Facebook page. Well, you might get shared. You might get, you might promote it later to people that may or may not know you. So introduce yourself, who you are, and kind of what you're representing. Like, for instance, for myself, I'm Heidi Singerhouse, and I am wanting to help other business people in the branding, trying to brand themselves. And my purpose today is trying to help give you tips for Facebook Live. So that's kind of stumbled through that part, but that's what you want to do. You want to introduce yourself. So that's number 2, okay? So when you are doing your Facebook Live, talk to your live audience, all right? Tell them, hey, thanks, where are you coming from? Drop me a comment. I want to know where you are, where you're at. You're trying to get engagement. So what I want you to engage about, or what I would love to hear from you, is have you ever done a Facebook Live? And if you have done them, what is your biggest issue with them? What do you struggle with? Or why are you afraid? I'd love to hear it. Drop it in the comments below. I want to hear what your struggles are with Facebook Live, because I'm sure I've had all those same struggles. So, okay, so that's number 3. And number 4 kind of goes along with that whole engagement part. So asking a question. Where are you? Where are you from? Just kind of what I've talked about before. So I'm kind of going down this list so you can have a little checklist here of how to have a good Facebook Live and make it successful. All right, so the last one is you want to always have a call to action. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about what I use when I'm doing my Facebook Lives, and I'll have a call to action. However, your call to action will be something like, hey, if you want to learn more about this, you can go to this website, or a call to action could simply be, please write in the comments below, where, what your struggle is, or a call to action could be something of the nature of, what's your favorite training that you've learned about Facebook Live, or what's your favorite tip? So some kind of call to action that has people do something at the end of your video, okay? So those are just some really quick tips. And I also want to give you, for people that are maybe just starting out with this, there's different levels of doing Facebook Lives, and I get a lot of great tips on all home business from Amy Porterfield. So if you aren't watching her podcast, check her out. All right, Amy Porterfield. Anyway, there was a great segment as far as videos, and there's different levels of doing Facebook Live videos, right? There's number one where you're holding your mobile and you're doing your own video right there. That's really basic, right? Number two is where you're taking it just a little further, where you have perhaps a tripod, you're holding it. That's what I have right now. So you're not seeing this kind of shakiness. It's holding still, and that just helps in the whole video production, I guess you could say. And then lighting too is another thing. So I'm actually going to put a link on some of the resources that I use, because I would call myself a number two, where I have a couple tools for my Facebook Lives, but I'm not like a whole production studio or anything like that. So, and it's easy to go from a 1 to a 2, because there's some very inexpensive ways to do that. Number 3 is when you're starting to use more of a software. You can do lives off of your laptop and be able to play around with more files and logos putting up in there. So that's another level. And then number 4 is actually having your studio and thinking about having, a bigger lighting, a designated spot where you're actually doing that. So think about those 4 levels. Number 1 is great. Number 2 is easy to get to. And number 3 and 4 is after you've been doing it a while. So think about that. That's kind of a really quick rundown about Facebook Lives. And if you want to know the resources that I use for my lives, I have a light, I have a tripod, and what I will do is I'll put the link below into the comments, so you can see the resources that I use, and maybe that'll help you out. It might be something you want to check out. There's many things out there, but just remember that these Facebook Lives, it's just you. You don't have to be afraid. It's okay. There's somebody out there that likes what you give, and you're giving value to somebody. So it's not for everybody, but the reason that we're doing it is because you're able to go out there and help somebody, give somebody value. All right, and that's all I've got for today. So again, if you feel like there's any value you got, or somebody else that could use some information on this, please share. And I am going to actually try to be more of a consistent timing of this. So if you guys have any comments on that, like when are you on? Like, is it mornings, weekday morning, evening? I'd love to know that too, because I'm going to start to get a little more consistent on when I'm popping in on here. So that helps me as well. All right, I got to go to the gym really quick, because if I'm late, I have to do burpees. So we don't want that. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.